You didn't decide to do that. Something reached in and pulled it right out of you. Why does seeing someone else yawn always pull one right out of us too? We are going to find out exactly why yawns travel from person to person. We will learn why we catch yawns more from the people we are closest to. And the reason we yawn at all is not what we were taught in school. The real answer is stranger than we thought. And it is not about being tired. But first, let us set the scene. Let us go back to where this all begins. Picture a quiet room, and something about to start a very big chain reaction. There we are, a quiet room, a handful of robots just sitting around together. One of them leans back, opens their mouth wide, and yawns, a big one. The narrator robot sees it and immediately tries very hard not to yawn back. Then a second robot yawns, mouth wide open, no warning, no mercy at all. A third one joins in. The narrator robot grips the chair, eyes watering now. It is a losing battle. Anyone who has been there knows exactly how this ends. And then it happens. The biggest yawn the narrator robot has ever had. One by one, they all yawned, like dominoes. A whole room going down together. Then silence. Everyone feels weirdly relaxed. The room is softer somehow, calmer. The narrator robot looks around and thinks, what just happened to all of us? Something spread through that room without anyone choosing it. Something invisible and shared. And that shared thing felt oddly warm, oddly connecting, like we were all one thing. Now that we have felt it, let us understand it. Here comes the science. Part 4, the science. Small discoveries, a fresh one every 30 seconds or so. First question, what exactly is a yawn? We use the word all the time. A yawn is a long, slow breath in, then a slow and relaxed breath out. The interesting part is that we do not choose to yawn. It just happens to us. Here's a wild fact. We start yawning before we were even born. That tells us yawning is very old. Our body figured this out a long time ago. Fish yawn, frogs yawn. Most animals with backbones do it in some form too. So yawning is everywhere across the animal kingdom. Ancient and very widespread. But what is yawning actually for? What job does it do inside our body? This is where people have had some very interesting guesses over the years. For a long time, the popular answer was simple. We yawn to get more oxygen. The idea was when we get tired, breathing slows. So we take a big breath in. A big breath pulls in oxygen. Oxygen wakes us up. Problem solved by the yawn. This made sense on the surface. For a while, most people believed it completely. But then researchers decided to test it. And the results surprised a lot of people. In one study, people were given extra oxygen to breathe. They still yawned just as much. In another, people breathed extra carbon dioxide. The yawning rate stayed the same. The oxygen idea did not hold up. The test results simply did not support it. That is what makes science great. Old answers can be wrong. Better ones take over. So if yawning is not about oxygen, then what is it actually about instead? Here's where things get more interesting. One strong idea involves the brain itself. The idea goes like this. Yawning may help cool our brain down just a little. Think of it like a tiny fan built right inside the top of our skull. When we yawn, cool air flows in past the roof of our mouth. That rush of cool air may help bring the brain temperature down just slightly. Research suggests we yawn more when our brain is running warmer than usual. We tend to yawn more in warm weather, and less when the air is cool and fresh. In one study, people held a warm pack to their forehead. More yawning followed. But hold a cold pack to the forehead, yawning dropped. The cold helped. The evidence is not certain, but it points toward yawning as a temperature tool, like pressing a tiny reset button inside our thinking machine. Quick and quiet. Not bad for something we all thought was just about being bored or too tired. But this still does not explain why we catch yawns from each other. For that, we need a completely different kind of explanation, something more social. Scientists have a special name for what happens in a room full of yawning people. They call it contagious yawning. It is actually a really good name for it. It just means a yawn can travel from one person to another. That is all. And here's the odd part. We do not even have to see the yawn to catch it. Just hearing someone yawn is enough to start one in us as well. And yes, just reading the word yawn can start the whole process in our brain. This is not just a theory. Yawns can genuinely spread just from a single word. Something in our brain picks up on the yawn signal from somewhere outside us. And once the brain picks it up, it fires back its own signal, yawn. But why does the brain do this? What is the benefit of copying someone else's yawn? Here's the leading theory, and it has to do with empathy and feeling connected. Empathy is the ability to sense what someone else is going through. When someone is sad near us, we tend to feel a little sadder too. Research suggests our brains automatically mirror the people around us without our knowing. We pick up tiny signals from others all the time, without even knowing we are. Scientists think the brain may have systems that respond to what we see others do. When we see a yawn, those systems respond. and we respond with our own yawn. Contagious yawning might be one of the invisible threads connecting us to each other. Think of it like an echo. We hear the yawn and send one back. And unlike a regular echo, this one carries meaning. It says, "I am here with you." And now here's the part that genuinely surprised researchers when they looked closely. We do not catch yawns equally from everyone around us, not even close to equally. Research has found we are more likely to catch a yawn from someone we feel close to. Parents catch yawns from their children more often than from their coworkers. Partners catch yawns from each other more than from people they just met. Close friends do it more than acquaintances. The bond shapes the brain's response. Think about what that means. The closer we are, the more our brains tend to sync. So catching a yawn is not random. It is shaped by how connected we feel inside. A yawn might be a tiny, quiet signal of closeness. Nothing more than that. This is not a disorder. It is not weird. It is just connection happening naturally. And children do not catch yawns the same way adults do. Not at first. Around age 4 or 5, children start catching yawns. Right when social skills grow too. That timing is not a coincidence. Social skills and yawn catching develop at the same time. One thing worth noting, not catching yawns does not mean someone lacks empathy. People vary a lot. Many things affect it. It is never quite that simple. Now here's something that opens up the story even more. Animals do it too. Chimpanzees catch yawns from each other. Researchers have observed this directly. Dogs catch yawns from their human owners. This one surprised quite a lot of people. In some studies, dogs yawned more from their owner than from a complete stranger. This tells us contagious yawning is not just a human thing. It is older than us. It may have evolved in group living animals to help them stay in sync together. Staying in sync with your group was important. It helped everyone act together. A yawn may have been a quiet signal to the group. I am here with you all. Whether that is exactly true, we cannot say. But it is a genuinely beautiful idea. Look at how connected this all is. Biology, behavior, and empathy all in one yawn. And here's something we have not gotten to yet. Something even more surprising. Some people catch yawns much more easily than others. Why would that be? Research suggests people who describe themselves as more empathetic may catch more yawns. This lines up with a theory that contagious yawning is tied to social connection. But it is not a firm rule. Many things affect how likely we are to yawn. Being in a group makes catching a yawn more likely than sitting alone does. Being tired also increases the chance of catching one. But tiredness alone is not the cause. Time of day matters too. More yawning happens in the morning and the evening. So yawning is shaped by many things at once. That is what makes it interesting. We went from a silly reflex to a window into how we connect with each other. Let us go a little deeper into the brain cooling idea. It deserves more time. Our brains run at roughly the same temperature as the rest of the body. But the brain can get a little warmer when we think hard or feel very tired. Even a small rise in brain temperature can affect how clearly we think. The yawn, in this theory, acts like a built-in thermostat right inside the brain. The wide-open mouth creates a flow of cool air past the nasal passages and palate. This may cool the blood near the brain slightly, dialing down the overall temperature. This is why we yawn more when waking up and when getting sleepy at night. Both are times when our brain is transitioning between states. It needs a reset. Yawning often comes with stretching. Our whole body is recalibrating when that happens. Scientists call the combination of yawning and stretching pandiculation. Quite a word. It just means that combined yawn and stretch. Most mammals do it every single day. Every morning, cats, dogs, humans, everyone wakes up and does the same reset move. Before we open our eyes, we are already doing something millions of creatures do. This is studied more than most people realize. Yawning has real scientific attention. Some researchers focus on yawning as their main subject. It tells them a lot about brains. Because yawning sits at the meeting point of temperature, empathy, sleep, and social life. Not many behaviors touch all 4 of those things at once, but yawning does. The science is still developing. New studies come out regularly with new findings. We may update our understanding of yawning in the years ahead, and that is exciting. Let us come back to the most striking finding, the closeness effect on yawning. In research looking at who catches whose yawns, one pattern comes through clearly. Family members catch yawns from each other at higher rates than almost anyone else. This makes sense if the yawn is tied to empathy. We empathize most with family. Close friends come next in the pattern, then acquaintances, then strangers at the bottom. This hierarchy almost mirrors how much we care about and connect with people around us. Our yawns tend to track our bonds. They go where our caring tends to go. That is kind of beautiful, actually. Hidden in something we treat as rude or boring. We spend so much time trying to hide our yawns, covering our mouths, looking away. We treat it as something to be ashamed of. But maybe we have it backwards. A yawn might not be a sign we are bored or disconnected from what is around us. The next time we feel that pull, it might actually mean the very opposite thing. And speaking of that pull, we are about to help you feel it. Consider yourself warned. Part 5, the experiment, where the video participates in what it is explaining. Now let us try something. This is a real thing about how the brain works. You are about to think about yawning, and your brain is already paying attention. Or maybe you already felt it. Maybe something in your jaw just shifted, just now. Just read this next word carefully. Notice what happens in the back of your mouth. Right now, just thinking about yawning, feel that pull at the back of your jaw? That stretch, that itch just behind the back teeth, the one you cannot quite stop. The narrator robot is fighting it right now too. It is not winning. Here it comes. There it is, the robot yawns. And maybe, just maybe, you did too just now. That was not a trick. Something real just happened between your brain and the screen. Our brain is so tuned to yawning that even the idea of it fires the response. Our brain is always listening for the yawn signal, even in text, even in pure thought. This tells us how deeply social the response is. It does not need a live person. Our brains are wired so deeply for social signals that the signal itself is enough. We told you something was going to reach in and pull it right out of you. We told you the real reason was stranger than expected, and hopefully it was. And now we know why. The yawn was never just about being tired or feeling bored. The yawn is also a signal, a quiet signal of connection that the brain sends out. Every time we catch one, we are doing something our bodies have done for millions of years. And with that, let us close this with the twist we promised at the very beginning. Part 6, the twist. The part that changes how we see all of this from now on. We open this with one question. Why does someone else's yawn pull one out of us? The old answers were tired, bored, need more oxygen. Simple and confident ideas. But we now know those answers do not tell the whole story, not even close. Yawning may be our brain's way of keeping itself at the right temperature. A reset. And contagious yawning may be our brain's way of staying in sync with people near us. A yawn is not a sign of boredom. It might actually be a sign of connection. Catching a yawn might be the quietest way we tell someone, I am here with you. So the next time we catch a yawn from someone near us, maybe we do not hide it. Maybe we just let it be. And maybe we notice who it was that set it off. Because that person is probably someone our brain felt safe enough to mirror. We are social creatures. Our brains are always reaching toward the people around us, and yawning of all things is one small window into exactly how that works. We do not fully understand it yet, but that is exactly what makes it worth exploring. If any of this made us think a little differently today, that is always the goal. Thanks for watching, and the next time someone near us yawns, go right ahead. Catch it. Let it be. It might just mean we care. See everyone next time.